Good morning and welcome to Hot Chock O'Clock. There's nothing better to me than the sound of children rioting in the yard at the school grounds just down the street. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that here in Alberta the young kids are still able to get to school. I know there's a lot of considerations that are put in place when they make these decisions. I'm just really glad that those young ones can be in school. I am jumping on this morning because it's the last day of November. And this month we've been talking about stress and the role that stress can have when, or the role, no, maybe the role that holistic nutrition can have. Okay, sorry. And the way that holistic nutrition can support you through stress. And that is one of the key pieces I hope you will get as a takeaway from all the content covered this month. That when it comes to stress, whether it is internally driven because of chronic disease, low-grade inflammation, because of what else could be, like autoimmune conditions, because blood sugar imbalances, because hormonal imbalances, these are all internal reasons that stress is a tricky thing for you to move through. The external things are fear. I don't know if you're aware with what 2020 brings. But anyway, other external contributors to the stress response in the body can be whether or not you have a job, whether or not there's an income coming in, whether or not you can pay the bills, whether or not you're going to have enough internet for 3 people who are on screens all day long. Never mind how you were supposed to get together enough money to buy 2 extra computers. Yeah, do you love that? Who's making lots of money? Ask questions. Anyway, so external drivers of stress can also be things like emotional stuff. And in these times where we are being asked to lay low and stay home more often, I understand that, and I understand the science behind it. My heart is with those who are struggling in home where maybe emotional stuff is at an all-time high, where there's a lot of adjustment or trauma currently going on. The violence, oh, there's so many birds behind me. The violence going on in homes is, when you were able to escape to go to your, hi guys, when you were able to escape, now people can't. So now more than ever, stress is, I think, the daily thing that's going on right now for so many of us. Whether it's because of our current world pandemic situation, whether it's because of work stuff on the go, whether because we are looking after our own health, that of somebody in our care, whether we are looking for ways to support good health and continuing good health for those around us and those at our table. So what are you supposed to do? Cry, sit in the corner? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm going to say yes to that because go ahead and do it because it'll help you process things. First things first. Second of all, let's start checking in on each other. This needs to be a community effort. This is where community is a strength and an ally. And this is actually biochemically part of the stress response. Part of your body's chemical cascade of things that go on in the body when stress is tripped, whether because you have a chronic disease, because you have stress going on, because you're a human, whatever the reason. Part of the cascade of hormones that gets produced are things that make us seek out connections with others. Well, what are you supposed to do in 2020? What are you supposed to do when we're being told, no, don't talk to anybody? Go sit in your own corner and stare at a screen. Unfortunately, staring at a screen is not going to bring us the connection that the biochemistry of our body is asking for. And so I just want you to know that. I want you to know, too, that this could be a contributing piece to kind of making the fire higher. Now, what can you do? That's nice, Luca. Thanks for making me so sad. No, that's not what I mean. I mean to say you have some tools at your disposal. We covered some of these in a class I led yesterday with my brilliant friend Claire Cummings at Juniper Healing Arts. Highly recommend you follow her. And some of the pieces we put in place to help support through stress were You know, when connection feels hard to attain and hard to reach or hard to include on a daily basis for whatever reason, you can still connect with yourself, with a ritual of some sort, with a routine, and with nature. I'll tell you what we did at our house. My husband so brilliantly hung this guy. Can you see it? Oh, do you see that little thing right there? That thing. That's a little bird feeder with some black sesame seed, black oil seeds. And it has been an absolute delight. Sitting at my breakfast counter, having breakfast, and watching the showdown going on at the bird feeder. It's fantastic. So, can you do things like connecting with nature somewhere? Can you hang something like that? Can you go for a walk? Can you go see what's happening in the outside world? Can you look to the sky? Can you have a cup of coffee or a cup of chocolate outside on the deck? Can you go to, I don't know, can you walk down to the river? Can you take your dog for a walk? Those types of things are going to help carry us through. Can you also check in on a friend? This is when it's going to be really important to bring people together. And that's the piece that helps us actually surf these seemingly massive waves. When I started out at the beginning of November, my interest was to really help you figure out what are those food pieces to support stress. And I talked about them all month long. If you want to go back, just go through my feed on Instagram here and on Facebook as well for the posts. There are some Tuesday lives where I did some food things. You can find that on my YouTube. Like, there's tons of free stuff out there. But that's nice. The biggest hitter is how you want to move through it and those pieces that you put in place for yourself. The action. What's your action piece? So I'm going to post a slide soon after I wrap up this little live. And I want you to hit me up with what is that one action piece you're going to put in place for yourself to support you through stress. And that has been the main topic this month. I'll tell you, stress in the body stokes the fires of inflammation. It ramps up that inflammation dragon and makes him a little bit bigger. So if you want to tame that dragon and you want to learn what you can do, then I have a course and I put it on for 40% off. It's a 2-hour class that you can watch as many times as you want. And you can access it through the link in my bio. The code to save 40% is there too. So if you want to save $16 off the $40 class, you get 5 strategies on how to move through and put in those good strategic pieces to help you reduce that inflammation dragon. So that's one piece you can do today if you're really struggling as to how you're going to make it through these fear times. Know this. Napping will be your best option. Yeah, it's a radical act. Turn off, quiet, simplify. That is a radical act in and of itself. Make a cup of hot chocolate. So listen, tomorrow's a new month. We're going to cover a brand new topic. Talking about aging. It's all inflammation. All of it. Everything I do is inflammation. And aging, healthy aging is about taming that inflammation dragon. So maybe you want to get a head start. Get in on that inflammation class. You can link to it through the link in my bio. In the meantime, I would love to hear from you. What is one thing you're going to commit to this week in order to reduce the overwhelm, reduce the stress, and tame that dragon? May it be a hot cup of something outside on your deck.